Dr. Maria Priscilla, an assistant professor from the Department of Oral Medicine and Radiology. It's a pleasure to be here today to discuss the essential aspects of neurological examination, the cranial nerves. Cranial nerves plays a pivotal role in various functions: the vision, the facial sensation to swallowing and speech. Understanding their examination is crucial for diagnosing neurological condition that can impact patient care. By the end of the session, you will gain a structured approach to cranial nerve assessment, practical techniques and clinical insights to enhance the diagnostic skills. Cranial nerves are 12-paired nerves that originate directly from the brain and brainstem rather than the spinal cord. They play a crucial role in transmitting sensory and motor functions and autonomic signals between the brain and different parts of the head, neck and areas of the body. So there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves: olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory and hypoglossal nerves. The first cranial nerve is the olfactory nerve. We are going to test each nostril separately using a familiar sense like coffee bean or a vanilla or a peppermint. Ask the patient to close one nostril and identify the scent. First, we are going to check the olfactory nerve. Can you close your eyes? Close one of your nostrils and take a deep breath. Can you identify the smell?
Yes.
What is it?
Coffee.
Good. The abnormal findings are anosmia, which is the loss of smell. The second nerve is the optic nerve. To test the optic nerve, we are going to check the visual acuity and the confrontation of the peripheral nerves. To examine the optic nerve, we are going to perform two tests. One is confrontation of the peripheral visual field. The other one is using a Snellen chart. Can you close your right eye? I'm going to close my left eye. Now look at my eye. Don't look at my fingers. Now I'm going to check the upper peripheral vision. Can you tell how many fingers I have shown?
2,
Very good.
3,
Very good. Can we do it on this other eye?
2,
Very good.
5.
Very good. Confrontation of the peripheral vision. So the abnormal finding here is optic atrophy, visual field defects, for example, homonymous hemianopia in stroke. Next, we are going to perform the visual acuity test using a Snellen chart. Make the patient stand 20 feet away from the chart and can you close your right eye and read through your left eye the last line.
D, E, F, P, O, T, E, C.
Can you change the other eye?
D, E, F, P, O, T, E, C.
Yes, that's correct. She has a 20/20 vision. Check for nystagmus. Look at this pen and touch the tip of the nose. The third nerve, fourth nerve and the fifth nerve cranial examinations are as follows: the oculomotor, trochlear and the abducens nerve. Next, we are going to assess the oculomotor, the trochlear and the abducens nerves. To assess these nerves, we need to perform two tests. One to check the papillary reflex and the other one to check the eye movement. To check the papillary reflex, shine the light to the patient's eye. We're going to check the other eye. Next, we are going to assess the eye movements. Ask the patient to close her left eye and gaze this pen to the upper corner, the middle and the lower corner. Next, close your right eye, the upper corner, the middle and the lower corner. Check for ptosis. Assess the extraocular movements using a H pattern. Test for pupil reactions like constriction of the pupil and down and upper movement of the eyeball. The abnormal finding is diplopia. The fifth nerve is the trigeminal nerve. It has both sensory and the motor function. The sensory functions like light touch, pain and temperature over the forehead, cheek and the jaw. Next, we are going to examine the trigeminal nerve. We are going to check both the sensory and the motor function. To check the sensory function, we need to ask the patient to close both their eyes. Can you close your eyes? I'm going to touch on the forehead region, the malar region and the mandible region. The patient will tell the touch sensation.
Yes. 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 Yes.
The patient responded to the touch feel. This confirms she has a good tactile sensation. The motor function is to ask the patient to clench the teeth and palpate the masseter and the temporalis muscle. So the abnormal finding here is loss of sensation, weak bite and absent corneal reflex. Next, we are going to check the motor sensation. Ask the patient to clench her teeth, touch the temporalis muscle for the contraction and as well as the masseter muscle. Ask the patient to open the mouth, move your jaw to the right and the left side. This confirms that she has a good motor function. The seventh nerve is the facial nerve, which has facial expression and taste. Ask the patient to raise the eyebrows, close the eyes tightly, smile and puff cheeks. Next, we are going to examine the facial nerve. We are going to assess the facial expressions. Can you raise your eyebrows? Can you frown? Can you smile? Can you blow through your cheeks? Yes, good. The patient responded to all the facial expressions. This confirms the functionality of the facial nerve is optimum. Test the taste sensation of the anterior two-thirds of the tongue, and the abnormal finding here is the Bell's palsy. Lower motor neuron lesion affects the whole face and stroke, which spares the forehead. Next, I am going to check the taste sensation. I have dipped this cotton swab in the sugar syrup. I am going to place in the posterior part of the tongue. Can you identify the taste?
Yes, it is sweet.
The next nerve is the vestibulocochlear nerve, which is responsible for hearing and balance. To check the hearing, whisper test or tuning fork test is done. To check the balance for steadiness or nystagmus. Abnormal finding here is sensory hearing loss. Next, I am going to assess the vestibulocochlear nerve. Stand behind the patient and ask the patient to repeat the letters or numbers.
8 5
This confirms that she has a good auditory reflex. To check the 9th and the 10th nerve, the glossopharyngeal and vagus nerve. Next, we are going to assess the glossopharyngeal nerve. Ask the patient to open the mouth, and say ha.
Ha.
While saying ha, we need to examine the uvula, the soft palate and the tongue. Uvula and the tongue should be in the midline position. Next, I am going to assess the vagus nerve. Ask the patient to open the mouth and check for the posterior palate. Yes, the gag reflex is confirmed, and open your mouth and check for the swallowing. Swallow? Yes, good. So, 11th sensory nerve is the accessory nerve. Ask the patient to shrug the shoulder and check for the trapezius muscle and turn head against resistance. The abnormal finding here is weakness in shrugging or turning the head. Next, we are going to examine the accessory nerve. Ask the patient to turn the head to right and the left to check the sternocleidomastoid muscle. Next, shrug the shoulder against resistance. The 12th nerve is the hypoglossal nerve. Here we need to check the tongue movements. Ask the patient to stick out the tongue, look for deviation or any fasciculations. The abnormality here is tongue atrophy. Next, I am going to check the hypoglossal nerve. Ask the patient to open the mouth and protrude the tongue. Then keep your tongue here against the resistance. This shows the good muscle activity.